New Comic Book Day is coming up Wednesday, April 14th, and it's time to look at the list of solicitations and ask myself the question we all have to ask: what am I getting? What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. So if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Now, this is what I'm getting. This is the weekly show where I run down the comics coming out, and I tell you what I'm most excited for, what I'm getting from each publisher, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list, what I'm going to make a game day decision about this Wednesday, April 14th. So if you're interested in comic book breakdowns, list of what I'm buying, solicitation guides, hauls, unboxings, reviews, all that type of stuff, hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever I post new content. I try to go every day, but then I had a baby, and then stuff happened. Life slowed down. Hey, the videos come out when they come out, so you better make sure you're subscribed so that you know exactly when that is. Anyways, I love doing this video. This by far takes the most time out of any video that I produce on this channel, but I love going through the solicitations. I love discovering new titles, things that I might want to take a chance on, and I love seeing what you guys are picking up every week. So let's go ahead and run right to it. This is a heavy week from DC Comics for me. There's only one indie book on the list, and a pretty, typical week for Marvel. So I like to start by showing off the book that I am most excited for in a given week. This week, that was a tough decision, but I decided to go with Spider-Man Spider's Shadow #1. This is a new miniseries by Chip Zdarsky. I didn't write down the name of the artist, but it's Spider-Man. It looks like it's going to be a darker take on Spider-Man. Now, the reason I'm excited for this book is because people love Chip Zdarsky, and I haven't had the pleasure of reading him just yet. I did pick up Batman Urban Legends. He's got a story in there, but I haven't read that yet. But Chip Zdarsky, he did a run on Spider-Man. I don't know if it was Spectacular Spider-Man. He did a run on Spider-Man, and then he did the Spider-Man life story. None of those books are books that I've read, but everyone rants and raves about them. He's currently writing Daredevil, and everyone loves that too. I would love it if In Stock Trades would ever deliver my pre-order of the hardcover. That's a whole different story. So anyway, because of all the hype surrounding Chip Zdarsky, and especially people's fondness for Chip's Spider-Man adventures, I want to give this series a try. I'm always looking for a book that will make me fall in love with reading Spider-Man. And the current Amazing Spider-Man run is just not doing that for me. So I'm excited to see another take on the character and see if it's something more in line with my sensibilities. So anyway, Spider-Man Spider's Shadow, new miniseries by Chip Zdarsky, and it's got a cover price of $4.99. I'm just getting the cover A. Now, since we're talking about Marvel Comics, we'll go ahead and go through the list, right? So the next up on my Marvel pull list is Children of the Atom #2. This is a brand new X-Men series, kind of focusing on these teen sidekick type characters who are not like officially sanctioned by the X-Men at all. I still haven't gotten a chance to read my issue 1, and I don't even remember where I put it. Things have been so in flux on the channel lately. But I'm going to keep picking up the series until I get a chance to read it. So issue #2 is out this week. I'm getting the cover A, and it's got a cover price of $3.99. Next up, another book, another example of me trying to give Spider-Man a chance. This one is NonStop SpiderMan #2, written by Joe Kelly with artwork by Chris Bachalo. Or is it Bachalo? Or is it Bacalo? Right? I don't know. Chris, tell me how to say your name. I don't know how you're going to do that in person or something. I don't know. Anyway, somebody tell me how to say Chris Bachalo. But NonStop SpiderMan #1 is one of the books I actually was able to read before life got upheaved by my daughter being born. And I really enjoyed it. It was fast-paced. It's very frenetic. The art style, honestly, it goes through it plays up to the fast-paced story, but it's like slanted panels. Like, that book was an experience. And it was as solicited, as it said in the description, once the action started, it did not stop. Spider-Man's uncovering this drug that's been killing people. One of his friends may have taken it. He's trying to get her some help, and we're going to pick up right where we left off in issue 2, I'm assuming. So I'm excited to get that. I'm just getting the cover A on it, and it's got a cover price of $3.99. Very cool. Next up on my Marvel pull list is Thor. Donny Cates' Thor, issue number 14. Now, you guys know it's been a running joke here that I've been picking up every issue of Thor and I've not read a single one yet. And it's the same with Venom. But I actually read Donny Cates' Venom, the first hardcover. I read it, and I'm going to be reviewing it with MJ Comics here shortly. But that book, without spoiling anything, opens up with a really epic moment with Thor fighting the symbiote. And so just that little appearance of Thor in Donny Cates' other writing has me excited to see how this Thor run is actually going to go. Obviously, I got a lot to catch up on, but I'm assuming his run's probably going to end pretty soon. So I didn't want to drop the title and then have just 5 missing issues. So there we go. Thor number 14. That's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A on that one. Now, last up, rounding out the Marvel pull list this week is Wolverine, issue number 11. Now, I'm behind on Wolverine. I'm behind on all of my X-Men titles, thanks to the X of Swords or 10 of Swords event running ridiculously long. So I got that hardcover. I'm about a third of the way in, and honestly, the Wolverine stuff is really cool. Wolverine is in hell trying to get this blade. I don't know. I'm excited to see how this is going to go. So as soon as I get caught up with 10 of Swords, I'm definitely going to be binge reading Wolverine to get back caught up, because that was one of my favorite titles before this big event started. So Ben Percy can do no wrong. And then you've got Adam Kubert on art. It's either Adam Kubert or Victor Bogdanovich. Both are doing some of their best work. It's a great looking book. So Wolverine number 11 is one of the books I'm most excited for this week, and that's got a cover price of $3.99. Of course, I'm just getting the cover A on that. So that's my Marvel pull list. If I just stick to the list, Kicks. I might get that on a t-shirt. Stick to the list, Kicks. If I stick to the list, I'm just paying $21 for all my Marvel books this week, and I can deal with that any day of the week. So there we go. Next up, let's talk about DC Comics. My DC pull list is so heavy with Batman books this week. I was just talking about that in my Why I Love DC video. I'll link to it up there in the card or something, just so you can see it. But there's so many Batman books. I don't understand why there's so many Batman books. DC has so many other characters. Can we get a good Green Arrow book? Or a Black Canary book? Or, I don't know, Red Tornado. Anyway, my point is, there's a lot of Batman books coming out this week. And of course, me being the Bat fan that I am, I'm grabbing all of them. So, first up is the Batman Scooby Doo Mysteries number 1. I know, not a book you expected to see on my pull list, but I like having fun with my comic books. And this cover just reminds me of being a kid watching old Scooby Doo movies, reruns, right? Or what was it? Scooby Doo? I think it was Scooby Doo movies where they had the guest stars. There was an episode with the Harlem Globetrotters. There was an episode with Batman and Robin. I just loved that series. So Scooby Doo Mysteries, or Batman and Scooby Doo Mysteries, I'm very excited to read. It's going to be a fun book, and it's got a cover price of just $2.99. You think I'm sharing it with my daughter? Nope, she better get her own. I'm joking. I'm going to get 2 copies. So I love that book. That book it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So $2.99, I'm getting the cover A. Now, this next book was actually kind of tied with that Spider-Man book for what I'm most excited for this week. But that is Batman the Detective number 1. Now, this is written by Tom Taylor. It's a 5 or 6 issue miniseries with artwork by Andy Kubert, right? Tom Taylor and a Kubert, first of all, Tom Taylor is my favorite writer in comics right now. I was ranting and raving about his Nightwing number 78 a couple weeks ago. It's great. I love 7 Secrets. It's great. I loved Deceased and all the Deceased spinoffs. I can't wait for my all new Wolverine omnibus to come in the mail so I can read that. Like, I just love how Tom Taylor writes characters and action and suspense. It's just great. He's great. And Tom Taylor writing Batman, like, that's all I ever need in life. So anyway, Batman the Detective #1. It should have been my pick of the week, but I just didn't want to look like I was Batman biased. So it's got a cover price of $3.99, which is surprising for a new #1 from DC, but I'll take it, and I'm just getting the cover A on that, although that cover B looks pretty good too. Next up on my list, another Batman book, of course. This is Batman Urban Legends #2. This is the new anthology series with 1,000,000 stories in it. I got to thumb through issue 1. I still haven't like fully read it. It's harder for me with the anthology books because I want to just read like one story. And anthology books will have like 4 stories at a time. And so, but anyway, I enjoy what I read of issue 1, so I'm gonna keep picking it up to see how Chip Zdarsky finishes out this story with Batman and the Grifter. And once that story's over, I don't know if I'm gonna keep picking up the series because it's got a cover price of $7.99. It's like 2 books in one, and I'm really only reading 1 book's worth of pages in that series. So anyway, Batman Urban Legends #2. It's got a cover price of $7.99. I'm getting the cover A. Next up, Challenge of the Super Sons #1. Now, if you guys know me, you know that I love fun comic books. And when comic books get too dark and dreary and like continuity heavy, I like to refresh my palette with a new issue of the Super Sons. I've got the original omnibus, the white one. I've got the expanded edition that includes the adventures of the Super Sons. And now they announced this new digital first series, Challenge of the Super Sons. I'm actually subscribed to it on Comixology, and it's really fun. It's Damian and John Kent, and it's fun. Now, I don't know. I guess technically this book is like Elseworlds or something because, you know, John Kent got aged up in the main universe. But I don't care. I want Damian and John doing things together. So there we go. Challenge of the Super Sons #1. I'm excited about that. It's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm just getting the cover A. Next up, continuing this whole Batman trend, we've got the Joker #2. Now, this cover A looks really good. Like, it does look really good, but that cover B, I think it's Lee Bermejo drawing Punchline resting on a bed of Joker dummy dolls. Like, it's great. It's great. So if I gotta put clear space in the budget to get a variant and an A cover, I'm doing that because I love that one. But anyway, the Joker, I've heard nothing but good things. I actually only read part of my issue, and then my daughter was born, and now I don't know where my single issues from that particular comics week are. So I gotta find it or I'll just read it digitally. But you know, it's the Joker. And it's really a Commissioner Gordon book. And then you got a backup story with Punchline. I love Punchline, so I need to figure out what's going on. I need to find that issue and read it. And then I get to read issue #2. So I don't know. That wasn't really an endorsement because I haven't read the book yet, but I'm excited about it. And James Tynion, so far, has done no wrong in my eyes. So I'm going to keep picking up any book he's writing. So there we go. Joker #2, that's got a cover price of $5.99. $6 DC Comics. What is wrong with you guys? But anyway, I'm getting the cover A and the cover B. So I'm the sucker. But last up, there's one more book on my DC Comics pull list, and that is Superman #30. Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson. He's got a brand new story arc starting with this issue. The last issue was like a nice little one-shot kind of story with John saving his dad. So interesting stuff going on. I'm a sucker for family type stories. It's why I love Tom Taylor as a writer, and it's why I keep picking up Superman, even though I'm not a fan of his character personally. I love how everyone in Metropolis interacts with each other. They're like a wholesome version of the Bat family, without powers and helpfulness. But they're nice. They're nice people. So anyway, I'm going to be picking up Superman for the time being just to see how it is. I didn't like Bendis's run, even though I was picking that up every single month. So we're going to see how Philip Kennedy Johnson does. Based on the little manifesto he wrote at the beginning of his run, it sounds like something I can get behind. So that's got a cover price of $4.99, and I'm getting the cover A, although that Lee In-hyuk cover B actually looks really good. If that's still in the store when I get there, I'll probably pick that one up. You know, it's Superman and his son flying together. I'm a new dad again, so it hit me right in the feels. But anyway, that's got a cover price of $4.99. I'm getting the cover A, and that's it for my DC Comics pull list. So if I just stick to the list, my DC Comics are going to cost me $30 this week. It's a good thing I only have one indie book on the list, or I'd be way over budget. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. The last book on my pull list this week is Mighty Morphin #6. You guys already know I'm buying these Power Rangers books strictly for the covers. Eventually I'm going to read the story. Issue #6 is supposed to be my cutoff, but I don't know. They keep putting out these dope covers. Hey, if there's room in the budget, right? You might as well. But anyway, Mighty Morphin #6. If you guys have been reading Power Rangers from the beginning, I need a pitch. I need to know like what's so great about it besides the nostalgia nerd factor, because that's the only reason I'm buying it right now. The art always looks good, and the covers just hit me right in the childhood. So that's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm just getting the cover A, and that means my indie comics pull list total is just $4 this week. So if I just stick to the list, my comic books are going to cost me $55. That's before tax and before my box discount. I can live with that. I can live with that all day. Now, there is actually a book on the chopping block this week. And it's funny because it doesn't technically count because Rorschach is not on my pull list. But you guys know I have been picking up Rorschach every single month that it comes out because DC has been putting really, really good variant covers up. So with issue #6, I picked up that gorgeous Dennis Cowan and Bill Sienkiewicz cover, right? And you know why I'm not picking up issue 7? Because I don't like the variant cover this time around. The A cover is cool, but it doesn't have that nice Rorschach Watchmen style branding on the side. So for those reasons, I'm going to leave this series on the back burner. I'll pick it up when it drops in hardcover. I believe this October is when it's solicited by a Penguin Random House. So I'll put that date on the screen. But yeah, I'm just going to trade weight on this series. They're not going to cancel the Tom King series. It's just not going to happen. So there's no need for me to buy it every week. Like, I'm just going to get the hardcover when the hardcover drops. And that's how I'm going to read Rorschach. And it's going to be behind Watchmen and Doomsday Clock on my to-read pile. So that tells you how long it's going to take me to get to reading it. But anyway, that's the book that made it to the chopping block this week. There's nothing on my maybe list. I'm sure that when I get to the shop, somebody's going to sell me something that I didn't have planned to buy. But that's it for me this week. I want to know what's on your pull list this week. What are you going to buy? What books are you most excited for? What are the books that you saw on my list that you were like, I didn't know that was coming out, but I got to grab it now? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to talk about comics with us all the time, you should definitely join me in the K Squad. It's our private Facebook group. We do giveaways. We're actually giving away a copy of the Star Wars Dr. Aphra Omnibus this Saturday, so that's going to be dope. But we do all sorts of fun stuff in the K Squad. We've got the book club coming up this Friday. We're going to be talking about Batman: The Long Halloween. Shout out to Seth for setting that up. We've got Mario, who just set up a blank sketch cover exchange. So I'm about to get my artistic skills together and draw on a blank cover, and that's going to go to a lucky K Squad member. We do really fun things in the K Squad, and we talk about the things we love, not the things we hate. So if you want to do that with us, go to bjkicks.link/K Squad, check out the description of this video, and join us in the Facebook group. Something special is going to happen when we get to 200 members, by the way. Just putting that out there. So I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Until then, I hope you saw something you liked. If not, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Make sure you read what you buy. And be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.